The Israeli cabinet has approved a ceasefire with Hamas in exchange for a release for some hostages. Those details are still coming into us, but our Hillary Johnston is watching this for us. She joins me now. Hillary, a meeting between Israeli cabinet ministers went late into the night. Hours of contentious debate, we understand, occurring there. An agreement, they have reached an agreement here, and we're getting some details about what this all might look like. What do we know?
That's right, Sarah. Those details are still coming in, but at this point, according to the Israeli Prime Minister's office, that deal will see 50 hostages released, women and children, over a 4-day period. Well, there will be this agreement that there will be no fighting, so a ceasefire, which will be in place for a number of days. When is that going to start exactly? At that point, that is not entirely clear. But 50 hostages in exchange for this lull, this break in fighting. So this coming from the Israeli Prime Minister's office directly. Like we say, not clear when this is going to start. We do know that the government, the cabinet, has voted in favor of this. And of course, earlier in the day, there had been talk that perhaps there will be some sort of swap as well, that there could be Palestinian prisoners in exchange for some of those hostages. At this point, this short statement from the Israeli Prime Minister's office not making mention of that. So that is something that, of course, we'll have to wait for more details on. The statement, though, saying that more details will be released to the families of those hostages as well. So lots to be watching for. Just a short time ago on X, of course, that platform formerly known as Twitter and IDF, so the Israeli Defense Forces, a spokesperson for the IDF said that after this hostage deal is implemented, that they will continue dismantling Hamas while respecting humanitarian law on the ground. That is what that spokesperson said on X, saying that they will remain vigilant during this pause in fighting. So that's sort of the latest at this point, Sarah. It would seem 50 hostages, women and children, in exchange for this ceasefire, for this truce to stop the fighting over a 4-day period.
Hillary, it's more than 6 weeks now since October 7th, since these hostages, 240, some 240, we understand, were taken by Hamas after those attacks in southern Israel. Remind us of what has happened with these hostages up to this point over this duration of time.
Well, we do know that some of them were taken from their homes on October 7th. Some of them were taken from Israeli military bases. Some of them were taken from that music festival in southern Israel. We know that there are women and children, an estimated 33 children. We also know that there were soldiers, Israeli soldiers who were taken. We know that there were grandparents, that there was a 9-month-old baby, according to the Israeli government, just to sort of give you an idea. We also know that they come from some 40 countries, including 20 farm workers from Thailand who were taken hostage, according to the IDF. In terms of hostages who have already been released, of course, not part of this detail, 4 of them have been released. So it started with a mother and daughter who hold dual Israeli-American citizenship. That happened back on October 20th. And then 3 days later, on the 23rd, there were 2 older Israeli women who were released. Both of their husbands remain in captivity at this point. And it was when those 2 women were released that the world really got its first sort of look or glimpse at what that was like, because one of the women said that they had been kept underground, and in her words, it had been hell for them as part of that experience. We also know, this is according to the IDF, that an Israeli female soldier was rescued. They announced that on October 30th. We also know that the bodies of 2 female hostages have been recovered. So that was announced just a couple of days ago on November 16th, a 65-year-old woman and also a 19-year-old female Israeli soldier. Now, of course, just finally here, Sarah, there have been a few videos that have surfaced in recent weeks. We don't know if those videos, those statements were taken while some of those hostages were under duress, including a video from a 21-year-old woman who was taken from that music festival. But of course, we do know, just once again, just to come back to that news breaking this hour, that a deal has been reached, that the Israeli cabinet has approved it, and it will see some 50 hostages released over a 4-day period while there's a pause in the fighting.
Yeah, that's the preliminary details coming out right now. And Hillary, thank you so much. Still so much we don't know, but you continue to follow that for us, and hopefully we'll be back to you a little later in the hour. Thanks.
Thank you.